SteelEye has carried out a case study to evaluate the applicability of ChatGPT in compliance, specifically in the investigation and resolution process of market surveillance. The AI tool has been implemented in SteelEye's environment and tested on communications data to see how it can support the surveillance process. I am excited to show you a few examples of user cases. Let's start off with a chat. Chats can be long, and it can take a long time to digest the full chat to understand if there are any instances of collusion, which is what was flagged in this particular alert. Here we can analyze with ChatGPT, and it immediately gives us a summary of the content. We can see that Tom has asked Marcin from SteelEye to ask his cash desk to favor him on fixes, which Marcin agreed to do. Later, Tom asked Marcin to ask his guys to keep 3M low, which Marcin agreed to do also. Let's look at another example. Here we can see that a communication has been flagged since there seems to be an intent to communications hop, which could indicate the intent to have an unauthorized communication. Let's analyze it with ChatGPT. Here we can see that a system suggests that there are several potential regulatory, financial market compliance, and insider dealing issues that a compliance officer may identify in this email. The email may be considered suspicious due to the lack of detail in the body of the email and the request for a private call. The compliance officer may consider the email to be a potential attempt at insider trading or market manipulation, as the sender is asking the recipient to call them for something interesting. Let's move to another example. Here we can see a call that has taken place that we can easily play back with a transcript at the bottom. If we analyze this with ChatGPT, we can see that there are recommendations for this call, because a number of regulatory and compliance issues have been flagged. We can also dig into the entities mentioned. From here, we can see that the company Kimball is the focus of attention. We can then look at the next steps and recommendations. The next step for the compliance officer would be to investigate the source of the information and review the trading activity of the firm's employees to ensure that the information was not used to engage in insider trading. So let's dig into the trading activity. Because SteelEye is integrated, we can move from this communication into our trades and orders and search for Kimball. Here we can see 2 buy orders. If we click into one of these, we can see that the buy order was placed just before a steep market price increase. From here, using SteelEye, you can quickly and easily add both these data sets into a case for trade reconstruction, which can then be escalated and reported. One final example. Here we have an email in Japanese, which unless you speak Japanese will be very hard to analyze as a compliance analyst. But let's see what happens if we analyze this with ChatGPT. Here the contents of the emails have been translated and analyzed in English. Here again, we can see a suggestion that there has potentially been a breach of compliance regulatory code.